Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Hey everyone, so happy you can join us for the Love Everyone podcast
with your hosts Govind Das and Rama Chandra Das.
A conversation of love, devotion, and walking the path of Bhakti Yoga.
Jai Shri Ram, welcome everybody to the Love Everyone podcast. This is episode 23, and I'm your host, Rama Chandra Das.
Jai ho, Jai ho, Jai ho. Welcome everybody. My name's Govind Das. So wonderful to be back together and be in this beautiful sphere called the Love Everyone podcast, an online satsang, it feels like, brother. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. I thought, hey, we got some announcements, right? You want to share a little bit about what we've got coming up?
Sure, we got some great stuff coming up real soon. First of all, we have our new Hanuman Chalisa 40-day sadhana, and that starts January 13th. Love to have you a part of this. Been going for 5+ years now. Every day we reflect on different lines of the Chalisa. And just email us bhaktiyogashala@gmail.com for that. 1, 2, we are just beginning to announce our love service devotion Hanuman Chalisa weekend in Encinitas, California, February 28th through March 1st. What's going to happen with that, brother? What do you
Oh
think?
my gosh. So we're going to have a whole weekend of LSD? Oh,
Sounds good.
nothing but love, service, and devotion. Well, yeah, we're gonna camp out at the Temple of Joy there in Encinitas, and we're gonna chant lots of chalisas. We're gonna sing kirtan. We're gonna have satsangs and discussing and reflecting on the lines like we do here on the podcast, but in person, and with instruments and drummers and all that stuff to really take it to the next level.
And what are we doing? 9 a.m. to 4:30 or
Yeah,
5 p.m., something like
it's
that?
gonna be the 28th of February and the 1st of March. So that's Saturday and Sunday. And it's gonna be all day on Saturday. Lunch will be included. It's a non-residential retreat, essentially. So meaning that you need to find your own place. We won't be putting people up. The good news is that makes it real affordable for everybody. So just stay tuned for that. Mark it in your calendar, and hopefully by the time we record our next podcast, we'll have more solid information.
Yeah, we'd love to have you. And then we are doing another Bhakti retreat together, Bhakti in Bali,
Oh
which
my.
is I
Wow.
know we both share a deep, deep love for Bali. And that's March 23rd through March 28th.
Yeah, and that's with our brother Saul David Ray again
Yeah.
as well. So we're just teaming up. This is our third in a row, and they've been so sweet.
And to be with you guys and everybody in Bali, I mean, it's really one of my favorite places on the earth. It's so healing and nourishing and devotional, and the waterfalls and the breeze is blowing, and it's just the culture of Bali, the food, everything it's really
Mm.
special. So love to have you join us sometime this winter, this spring. Come on out and let's be in person together.
Cool. All right. Well, so the commercial's over, and how's
Kind
it
of a fun
going?
commercial,
Yeah,
thinking about
well,
the stuff we're going to be doing.
there's some great stuff coming up. How you been?
Man, life is good, brother. Life is
Yeah.
good. Can't complain. It's a 75-degree day today. December, what's today? December something, and it's
Yeah.
75 degrees, so I'm
Oh
stoked.
my
And
God.
been surfing every day, lots of kirtan. Although I'm a little sad, I did my last kirtan of 2025 a couple days ago. So,
Wow. Wow.
uh,
So you got at least 2 weeks before your next kirtan.
yeah,
You're gonna
yeah,
be okay.
I'll be all right. I don't know. I might not be okay. We'll see. If I'm not, send flowers, please.
Well, I think we're both going to be practicing something that a form of yoga that I sometimes find pretty challenging. It's called in-lawsana.
In-laws. I thought you were going to say abstinence.
Oh,
Abstinence from kirtan.
yo, that is hard. That is hard. No, this one's called in-lawsana, and
In-laws. That's
and
great.
because I'll be going down for the holidays to see Melissa's parents down in Southern Oregon, and you're going all the way to the Southern Hemisphere, I hear.
Yep, heading to Australia
Wow.
tomorrow. So it'll be nice though. It's summer down there and big family, lots of celebrations and a lot of time in the water, a lot of sunshine and warm weather. So that makes
Oh
me
man,
happy.
you're killing me with all this sunshine. I don't know if it's on the news, it's on the national news, but Seattle and this whole all of Washington has been under this atmospheric river for about the
Oh,
last 2 weeks, and there's been crazy flooding like rivers that have never flooded before.
wait, so it's heavy rains there?
It's been heavy rain for weeks now, and we have major highways are like going to be closed for months. The rivers, if you anyone near a river is in danger of flooding these
Ah,
days, and these are rivers that have like never flooded, like at
wow.
least as long as we've been people have been settling here, and it's all happening so fast. And like our friends who have that place in Leavenworth on the other side of the uh,
Yeah.
Leavenworth is devastated. It's been without power.
Oh, I'm sorry to
Been
hear
without
this.
power for like 2 weeks.
Oh my
Uh,
gosh.
so many homes gone. The highway that goes to Leavenworth, they say is going to be closed for at least 3 or 4 months. So you got to take the long way around to get there. And but that's just the beginning. There's so many
Hmm.
communities been just ravaged. And
Man, I'm sorry. I've been hearing we had a little atmospheric river here in California about a month ago or so, and had like so much rain,
mm,
during November. I never can remember that much rain in November,
yeah,
because it usually comes January, February, that sort of thing. So this is a new term for me. I remember maybe hearing it last year,
yeah.
but I'm not sure what that
Yeah,
really
it is a
means.
new thing, but man, I tell you, this year the word really sufficed, man. It's like it's been like Ganga is just descending directly out of the sky. It's been crazy how much water has
Wow.
come down. So
Well,
seems to
right
be
on, bro. Well,
subsiding.
let's dive in. I
Let's
think it's
do
that
it.
time.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. So I think you're gonna do it, right?
Yep. We'll start off with some mantras, invoking the guru and just really setting the mood for this journey. And um, so these are lines from what's called the Guru Stotram. If you know them, please chant along. And I'll chant the Sanskrit. Ramachandra Das will share the English, and we begin this journey. Om Akandamandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha.
Salutations to the Guru, who revealed to me the supreme truth, which is unfragmented, infinite, timeless divinity, and which pervades the entire universe.
Jnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha.
Salutations to the Guru, who opened my eyes, which had been blinded by the darkness of ignorance, by applying the divine ointment of self knowledge.
Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha.
Guru is the creator, sustainer, and the destroyer. Guru is directly the Supreme Spirit, both manifest reality and the absolute. My reverential salutations to the glorious Guru who resides in the hearts of all beings as the true self.
Hari Om. Bolo Shri Sat Gurudev Bhagwan Ki.
Jay.
Shri Baba Neem Karoli Santa Maharaj Ki.
Jay. Hmm.
All right, so here we are. As we do each podcast, we break down a line of the Hanuman Chalisa. Anybody just joining into this practice, or shall we even just say this podcast? Maybe somebody told you, hey, check out this podcast. What is the Hanuman Chalisa, Ramachandra Das? I mean, if someone's new to this, how would we talk about this?
Oh, wow. Really putting me on the spot here,
It's
Govindas.
something I think you know how to talk about.
Oh man, we do a lot of talking about it, don't we? So the Hanuman Chalisa Chalisa means 40. It's a 40 verse prayer. So unlike a lot of like kirtan, which we repeat Om Namah Shivaya over and over and over, this is a prayer that doesn't repeat any of the lines. So it's 40 verses. It was written by this guy named Tulsi Das, who was a great devotee of Hanuman and also of Sita and Ram, and about 500 years ago. And it's become like a bedrock of, many, many people's bhakti yoga practice. I loved what Greg, our friend Greg, said in that email that he sent us the other day. So Greg, he's an American guy, but he's been in our Hanuman Chalisa group for the last 5 years or so, and he said he went to India, and these kids at this school that he volunteers at, got up and sang the Hanuman Chalisa. And some of them were like 4 or 5 years old. And here's these 4 year olds, 5 year olds chanting every single line of this Hanuman Chalisa by memory. And he asked the teacher, he said, how in the world is this possible? I've been studying for longer than these kids have even been alive. I've been studying the Chalisa, and I can barely do it without reading. And he said, "Oh, it's totally different." He says they don't learn the Hanuman Chalisa; they already know the Hanuman Chalisa, and that so it's just like the Hanuman Chalisa is like especially in northern India, like to a lot of people, it's just like in their blood. It's just become such a huge part of Bhakti Yoga, especially in the Hanuman and Sita Ram circles, and we both love chanting it. Govindas and I both love chanting it. And when you really start to break it down and you start to dive into it and study it in the way that we like to do, it's like a whole Veda, or it's like a whole Upanishad. It has so many of the pillars of yoga, and the wisdom of bhakti are within the lines that it's like, as we say all the time, it's like a never-ending well of bhakti wisdom and devotion. So, how about you? What is the Hanuman Chalisa to you?
Dude, I love it. It's, as you were saying, something that just came up for me. It's like a spiritual anthem.
I
You
love that.
know, people sing the anthem, the Star Spangled Banner or whatever. It's an anthem to the country, but this is a spiritual anthem
Mm,
that is becoming massively more and more and more popular, by the week, month, year, it seems. And it's a blessing because
mm,
I think it gives us direct access to connecting with the energy of Lord Hanuman and Sri Sita Ram and Neem Karoli Baba as well too. And as we have taken on this practice of really diving, not just singing it, but really diving deep into the meaning of it and the deeper meaning as we do in our morning sadhanas that we do, we try to unlock the sort of the hidden shakti that's within each line.
Mm.
And so we keep reflecting on it, we keep chanting it, and we keep focusing on it. And it's just, I don't know, I think for me, and I imagine for you, this gift that just keeps on giving and giving and giving and giving. And it's really amazing how now at the end of, I usually sing a Hanuman Chalisa as the last part of my kirtan, the very last chant that I do. And how many people know the Hanuman Chalisa now,
Mm.
regardless of what city I'm in, or even if they've taken our Hanuman Chalisa course that we do as well too. People are just really loving the Hanuman Chalisa, and I concur. I'm right there with them, and I believe you are too. So this is what we was this we use this as sort of a foundational element of the podcast every week. We've been or every time we release a podcast, we've been reflecting on one line and using that as a sort of, you know, doorway into conversation of all things bhakti.
Yeah.
So today we have a great line, and this is line 20 or Chopai 20, and sometimes even called the heart of the Hanuman Chalisa. And the Avadi is Durgama Kaja Jagatake Jete Sugama Anugraha Tumhare Tete. I'll say it again. Durgama Kaja Jagatake Jete Sugama Anugraha Tumhare Tete. And it means all difficult tasks in this world become easy by your grace. If this is new for you, just listen to it one more time. All difficult tasks in this world become easy by your grace, Lord Hanuman.
Mm.
Whoa, this is big time. I want something to make the
Did you say
difficulties of my
all? Did you
oh,
say all
yes,
difficult
that's what
tasks?
Tulsi died. I mean, I'm not really saying it, Tulsi, but yes, all difficult tasks. How is this possible?
I don't know. I
How can
don't know.
somebody say this? All that if you receive the grace of Hanuman, all difficult tasks are going to be easy.
Wow.
Please, what you got,
Oh, you
man?
want me to tell you?
Lay
Okay,
it on
go
me,
ahead. All right, all right.
brother.
Well, the first thing I got to just point out, and everybody that's watching on YouTube, they can check this out. But those of you listening on Spotify or Apple, you'll just have to trust me. Coincidentally, I just put this shirt on that says, "Every difficult task in the world becomes easy by your grace." Uh, Before I started this podcast, I didn't even think about what line we were going to do, but I threw this T-shirt on because it has Hanuman on it, really, I think. And then you announced we were doing line 20.
Is that a Hanuman miracle right there?
Yeah, it's a minor miracle.
Minor
It's
miracle,
it's
a
a
baby
minor
miracle.
miracle. It's a baby miracle. um, but well, it's definitely I've stopped using the word coincidence, because it's definitely not a coincidence for sure. It's maybe more, we could maybe, if we didn't want to say miracle, we could call it a synchronicity.
Oh, I love that word.
It's a good word, right?
It is
Because
a
it's
good
kind of like
word.
you can talk to people who don't believe in miracles, without getting their ruffling their feathers, because you start using the word miracle around the wrong group of people, and they get all they can get all sensitive. But you also don't want to use the word coincidence. People use coincidence for everything, and I honestly, it's just like people don't believe in miracles.
I don't believe in, I don't know. I don't
I
believe
don't
in
believe in
coincidence.
coincidences. Yeah,
No,
there's
I don't
nothing,
either.
no such thing as a coincidence. So synchronicity is like the middle ground that we can all
Yeah,
tread together. So we're all in sync. But yeah, this line is so amazing. I think what a promise, right? Like that's really like pretty much everything, right? Like if all your difficult tasks were made easy, like it's like done and dusted, right? I mean, like we can just relax. And I think that's a big part of this too. This whole thing about surrendering to Hanuman and to giving yourself over to a higher power, for lack of a better way to put it. You know that uh that you're kind of you're allowing the divine assistance of the universe to come in, and that's the grace that we're talking about here. I think is this divine assistance. Vanamali, she always used to say, those who think that they can do it by themselves are rather foolish. It is so much easier to ask for some divine assistance. So to me, like, not just this line, but so many of these lines, especially in the rest of the Chalisa, because we're entering now, we just spent the last 10 or 11 lines hearing all the Leelas and all the stories and adventures and the pastimes of Hanuman, and his adventures with Ram and Sita. Um, but now we're entering this period of the Chalisa. The next 10 or 12 lines or something have numerous promises, really great blessings and boons that we can achieve through our devotion. And this is one of the biggest, every difficult task in this world. I mean, what does that even mean? Every difficult task in this world. Does that even mean that like lifting a heavy bag is easy with Hanuman's grace? I mean, like I mean, is this every difficult task? That's what I said before, you know? So anyway, I think what do you think about grace? This is a word though that I think is a challenging word for some people. Like how would you define grace?
Man, grace. I feel like grace is divinity's flow of love for us
Mm,
when we don't even necessarily deserve it. That
mm.
God
So,
loves us so much that he, she, it is just going to rearrange some things in the phenomena of our life that aren't necessarily in alignment with our karma. And I guess what I mean deserve, karma is the law of we get what we deserve, right?
mm,
Because it's all based on actions. Now are the reaction of that is because of the action we've taken in the moment. So on some level, the law of karma, we're always getting what we deserve.
mm,
But sometimes, and here we go again, miracles take place.
mm,
The miraculous descends into our life to like a loving parent, mother or father, to just take care of something in our life that we wouldn't expect to be taken care of.
mm,
And it almost makes no sense that something could be taken care of like that.
mm. But
So
when you
that's
said
kind
we
of how I feel it.
but when you
And
said
I've
you
never
didn't.
really described it like that before, but it just that's what came through me right now.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I'm just curious though when you said like that it's not something that we deserve. Does that mean we don't have to earn grace or do anything to receive grace? Do we have to surrender? Don't we have to at least do we have to at least believe in it? I feel like we have to at least
Ah,
believe
whoa.
in grace to receive
Do we
it.
have
No, it reminding me of a hit of the day. I actually just looked down. This was one of our first hits of the day was Shivananda, and he said, "The Lord's grace will descend in proportion to the degree of surrender."
oh, right?
The
Yes.
more the surrender, the more the grace.
Yes. Yes. I feel 100% in support of that.
So this is like a big another moment of faith. Do we have faith? Because I think we have to just hearing this word, this line, just hearing these words, like we have to take a leap of faith, like we talked about last week. We have to take a leap of faith just to believe that Hanuman's grace can make all of the difficult tasks in the world easy. Don't we? No?
It's
I don't
just
know.
mysterious. Grace is
It's
just mysterious.
mysterious. Yeah.
It's so mysterious. I knew nothing about grace. I grew up Jewish, so my family there was never this word grace. I would go to my Christian friends' homes for dinner and they would always say, "Let's say grace."
Uh,
That was the only thing I ever knew of what grace was. So I attributed it to something spiritual.
uh-huh.
So it's it's really I'm without words right now,
It's
brother.
a tough one. That's
But
why I
how
asked.
how do we get okay? So the question of this line is your life is going to become easier with Hanuman's grace. Well, how do you
Mm.
get Hanuman's grace?
I think there, you mentioned that like mother and father just like taking care of the child, that I think there's something in the Shivananda quote that to me is like a key is that there has to come a moment uh, where we allow it, you know, meaning like as we are as we are shedding like our desire to control everything, because I think also the desire to control everything and our over controlling nature can actually block it. Is my that's my theory, at least in this moment, is that when that we have to what's this, is it all grace? Wait, is it do we have free will or is it all grace? Right? Was what Krishna Das asked Siddhi Ma, I think, or was it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And she said you have to and it's all grace, she said, but you have to act like it's not. So I think it's a kind of a riddle. It's this idea of surrender and receiving grace, but also taking action in life and is a dance.
Now, will that grace descend upon that helping hand of the Divine Mother? Will that helping hand descend upon someone that does not have faith or that does not believe in God so much or does not surrender? And can that grace be present? And,
Mm.
you know, I think so, actually. And I'm just looking at my life like from way back.
Yeah. Well, to answer your question, I think yes, but that person will be living under the misconception of thinking that they did it.
I'm just looking at this when I was about 20 plus years old.
Uh,
I got really drunk one night and I did something incredibly stupid as I drove. Really, really drunk. And I'm still to this day totally regret it. And I was so drunk that I drove on the wrong side of the road on a 3 lane kind of bigger road, not a freeway, but a big road. And very easily I could have, and it was night, it was probably past midnight, 1 or 2 a.m. But my life could have been gone. I could have taken somebody else's life. But for some reason, I pulled off the road and realized what I was doing and sobered my ass up. But to me, now I'm looking at that, and that's just one of many examples of
Mm.
things like that, that to me, that was grace, that I didn't hurt anybody, that somehow, because a lot of people do hurt people
Mm.
when they drive drunk.
So, but did you see it as God's grace then?
I didn't see it as God's
Yeah,
grace. I didn't know that was God's grace.
so that's what I was getting at maybe is
I
too
thought it
just
was lucky. I thought I was lucky.
well you were you were yeah, you definitely were
But
uh,
that's what people say is
yeah
lucky. Oh, you were
yeah
lucky.
yeah that's right. I think I think it's now there's so many things at play. This could even be your past karma, that was leading you to be a bhakta in this lifetime, was protecting you in that moment, based on your surrender that you had done last time. I don't know. There's a lot of questions there, but I think that this if you're not aware that grace is in your life, right? Things are still, you know, things are harder because you have to really rally the gumption to do something. But when you when you feel like that you're just doing it, you know, to serve, or when you are just, I mean, I literally pray. The way I pray these days is I say, Baba, you have to do this because I can't do it. Meaning that I am actively working towards surrendering to Neem Karoli Baba as if he is the doer in my life and that I'm just an instrument, you know, of his. So when a miracle happens, it's very easy for me to see the connection, you know, because I'm actively keeping my mind focused on, letting him do it and releasing the feeling that I'm the doer, that I'm making all this stuff happen. But if I was just trying to make the stuff happen and I didn't have Baba and I didn't have Hanuman, and even if grace was happening, I wouldn't be aware of it. And so maybe that's the graceful thing. And then also knowing if I have a difficult task, if I know that I can go to Hanuman and Baba and I can say, guys, I really need you on this.
I like
I,
how you said that, guys.
hey guys, I really need you on this one. I'm gonna really need you on this one. Uh, that makes things easier. I mean, just before I even begin the task, because I feel
It
like
sure
I've
does.
got the assistance. So just having having Hanuman there as a foundation of like who I am and what I'm doing, just makes all the everything I'm doing in my life easier. It makes it even easier to do my sadhana because I want to be with Hanuman, and I want to please Hanuman and I want to serve Hanuman. So, so many things that when I have challenges and I can.
Now, this is interesting. I remember this woman. I don't remember her name, but I remember I said something like this, pleasing Hanuman. I want to please Hanuman.
Mm,
And she typed in the chat something like, well, why do you need to please Hanuman? It didn't make sense. Like,
Mm.
why would we want to please Hanuman? Well, what do you think about that?
Well, what did you say to her? Or
I
did
did.
you?
I don't think we answered it. Yeah,
Oh,
I don't
okay.
think.
Yeah. Uh, well, why
But I
why
think
would
it's interesting. Well,
yeah.
I guess from myself, like you want to please your lover.
Mm,
You want to please your beloved, right? Someone that you
mm,
love, you want to do things that are pleasing to them. And I think that's this beautiful element of bhakti that it's such a personal relationship
yeah.
with God that you feel that Hanuman is your beloved and you just want to offer the
Yeah.
best things in your life so Hanuman's happy.
As you asked that question, the first thing I could think of is like, like, why would you even ask that? Of course, I would want to please Hanuman. Like, it doesn't even cross my mind. And then maybe there's some kind of like trigger that word used for her, in terms of like maybe her past religious affiliation or something. It's just like, oh, well, oh, God's happy or God's mad at me, or, like
Yes.
the vengeful God versus, pleasing God, and, versus, you know, maybe
A
that
punishing God, oh,
that
we want to
maybe there,
please God so God doesn't punish us,
yeah,
right?
exactly. Or yeah, exactly.
Come
Of
down with his
pleasing God.
wrath on us.
Yeah, and I think that once you get a taste of bhakti and you kind of understand that that's not the case and that's not what's happening here, that we're not worried about Hanuman punishing us, but we do know that Hanuman is pleased when we are being of service, when we are assisting him in his the only thing that pleases him is serving Ram and serving Sita. And so the Rama Kaja, Ram's work that we talk about all the time. And so all he wants to do is assist Ram's work. And the only thing that really pleases him is us assisting him in doing Ram's work. But at the same time, like, the love, it's sort of like that personal love that I feel for towards Hanuman. It's like you said a beloved, but like any anybody that's dear to me, like I don't like it when they're unhappy. I don't like it when you're unhappy. I don't like it when any of my friends are unhappy. I don't like it if my dog's unhappy. I want my dog to be happy. So I want Hanuman, of course, I want Hanuman to be happy. So anything I can do to please him, and maybe, it's funny that you bring that up, but I think there was like some kind of emotional trigger that
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
press,
I think so.
there. Yeah.
Going back to
Hmm.
this grace, this thing is coming up for me right now that I feel grace, how I feel grace. And I love this conversation because it's the more we talk about it, the more real it seems to be coming. I feel the grace are like these gentle waves
Mm,
of just guiding, of spirits guiding love. These soft, gentle waves, just like
mm,
this direction, keep going this direction, keep going and they're very supportive in their gentle, loving guidance.
mm.
So that's how I feel grace.
I really respond. It's interesting that you mentioned waves, though, because there's definitely a water feeling to this
Yeah,
to me. And it's the mother.
yeah.
I think that, even though we're talking about Hanuman's grace here, but the to me the grace of God is very feminine. Is
Radhanath Swami always says that.
No, interesting. So,
Yeah.
well, so I was, as you were talking about the waves, the soft waves, I love the metaphor of like this idea of this beautiful, soft, warm rain that's falling, and it's always falling, and it falls on everybody equally. It's like the sun, right? We all get wet if we go out in the rain, the same, no matter who we are. But we mention this all the time in our sadhana that these bhakti practices and that like chanting the Chalisa, whatever, it's like learning how to cup our hands so we can catch some of that grace, so we can receive some of that grace as opposed to it just, you know, just falling off of us. That we can actually, and then and we can acknowledge it and we can offer gratitude to it, because every time I think about that and that cupping of the hands, I love that so much because, every time I go to Ganga, in India, I feel like we talked about Ganga last time. We always end up talking about Ganga. It always comes back to Ganga. But, just there's something so sweet about just cupping the water, and just pouring it over your head, and it feels like, because I feel like there's so much grace in Ganga as well.
You ready for a pre-LSD hit?
Yeah.
This is a pre-LSD. This isn't our
Not the
real.
hit of the day. It's not the hit of the
It
day.
reminds me of something you were saying a second ago. Ramakrishna said the winds of grace are always blowing. Because you
Ah,
had said, oh, the grace is always there. The
yeah.
winds of grace are always blowing. We just need to learn how to put up our sail so that we can catch those winds.
Ah, I've heard you say that before, but I just got chills as you said it. I love that so much. We got to learn how to put up our sail.
So the winds of grace are always blowing.
Ah, it's so good.
They're always here, but we're just somewhere so else that we can't see the grace.
That's it.
The
Yeah.
divine grace is that we're just having this conversation is
Uh,
divine grace. That our friendship and our satsang, that's all divine grace.
yeah.
But we
Yeah.
just take things so for granted in our lives. And so we're learning how to become more sensitive to divinity's presence in our life.
Mm. Yeah, it's like we're learning how to tune our tuner, like how in the old days when you're trying to listen to a radio station and
Yeah.
you had to just get the knob in that perfect spot and it's
Oh,
coming
and I
through.
love because Saul always says this. He's like, but typically there's so much interference.
Yeah.
Shh, you would hear
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
until you turn that dial just right. And then you would hear the voices come through clear.
Yeah.
And when we're not tuned just right, it's all our freaking mental
Yeah.
interference.
Yeah. 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 It is, man. There's so much garbage. There's so much garbage. Oh, well, let's see. Oh man, I wanted to share this. Oh, I came up with a new. It's gone. I'm gonna have to try to remember it. Maybe my wife remembers. Well, we were having a conversation on a walk the other day, and I was just talking about mental garbage is basically the gist of it. But it was a nice little phrase, a new phrase
So
for mental
let's
garbage.
let's seal up this grace because we still got to take a real hit here.
We do, and I've got a great hit.
Like, can we can't control that grace though. Like we can't say, Hanuman, I want your grace.
No.
But we can just be open to that grace. We can surrender. And in our surrender, we as that quote that you've shared from Vishnu Swami, I bow to you again and again and again to make myself small.
Mm,
And it's in that making of ourselves small, that becoming nobody, that we open up the channels so the grace can
yeah.
blow through. Make space for grace, right? Space for grace.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Now
mean,
let me just
okay.
ask you. I mean this, and I don't like putting you
Uh-oh.
on the spot, but I mean I
This is,
do like putting you on
I
the
know you do.
spot.
Do I need to
Do
get my,
you
do I need to
feel?
lie down on the therapist couch?
So Ramachandra Das,
Been a while
please.
since your last visit.
Um, do you believe that this is true, that all difficult tasks become easy by your grace?
I do.
Have you experienced this?
I have experienced moments of this. I mean, I've experienced uh, a sense of feeling the winds of grace blowing my ship, you know? But I really believe also very strongly that this one out of all of the lines um, is is a is a faith-based line that it's a big surrender that takes place to even to open up to grace and also to open up to the idea that a promise like this that every difficult task in this world could be made easier by Hanuman's presence and grace in my life that it's I have to I have to I have to choose to believe it, do you know? And I think that's a big part of it. And that Shivananda quote that was it Shivananda
Yeah,
that we just read?
Shivananda.
Yeah, Shivananda quote that I just read a moment ago. That the level of grace in our lives is going to be equivalent to the level of surrender that we, you know. So, so I believe it. I, s- it's not like a 24/7 thing for me in the sense that there's still some difficult tasks in my life because it's based on the level of surrender that I have, engaged in. And, but I do believe it. I think it's a moment in the Chalisa where we're almost asked, especially like right after the leap of faith, then it's like Tulsi Das wants you to leap again or something, and but it also ties into last week's line too because I when I read it, I actually hear it as like a run-on sentence. You know, it's no surprise you leapt over the ocean because every difficult task in this world becomes easy by your grace. And in my mind too, you could translate that to Hanuman's grace. You could also translate that to Ram's grace, because Hanuman would of course say, well, it's not me, it's Ram. Just like Tulsi Das says, it's not me, it's Hanuman, it's Ram. So in that same way, um, and then what about you? Do you believe in this? Do you believe this? How can you believe this?
I do. I think it's as simple as like, I like to go jogging with my dog. And where I live, there's some big ass hills. And when I am going up these hills, trying to run up these hills, if I'm focused on Hanuman and the strength of Hanuman that he blesses us with, or I'm chanting Ram, or I'm chanting a Chalisa as I go up, it just isn't as challenging.
Hmm.
And I think it's this thing like where the only way I can make sense of this line is when I'm identified with the me, the small me self, versus I'm identified with the true self, the bigger self. In the small me self, that's where my difficulty lies. When
Yeah.
I flip it over, it's just that grace is just there. It's just you become open and things are just moving through. And I think really I look at this past year of my life, 2025, which I could have very easily tell you right now, this was the most challenging year of my life. My home burned down, everything that I knew in my material life completely drastically changed. And but there was so much grace
Hmm.
to this day. The grace is flowing. So I have faith in this line, man.
Yeah.
I love this line. and I think we've touched on some really neat stuff here.
Yeah.
I still don't know if I mentally, understand it, but
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
I love it and I have faith in it, and I'm gonna keep
Yeah.
trying to please Hanuman and invite that grace into my life. And I think really, since we've been engaged in Hanuman Bhakti and however long for both of us, my life has gotten much better.
Yeah.
And I
100%.
think that's Hanuman's grace.
Yeah. Just the last thing, I guess, before we take our hit of the day is, just thinking about how quickly my mind goes to when I'm in difficult situations, how quickly my mind goes to the Chalisa, like you were saying, just, running up the hill with your dog and, chanting the Chalisa makes it easier or whatever. Um, and, and it does make it easier. I was just thinking about the time that Melissa and I were on a Greek island a few years ago, and we rented a little moped, but they didn't have the 150 cc. They only had the little 125 cc or whatever. So we took that anyway, and we went driving around. And then there was this beach that we decided to go to, and as we were going down the hill, I was like, "Holy moly, this is a very, very steep hill." And I really hope that this little moped can make it back up the hill. And we had a great time at the beach, and then we got on the moped and we started going up, and very quickly it became obvious that this thing did not have what it took. It was really lagging, and we were going so slow, and cars were passing us. And, I think that even a guy on a bike, bicycle passed us or something. But we started chanting the Hanuman Chalisa, and we were like pushing the bike and pushing the bike. I mean, we were still riding it. It was still, but we are going like 2 miles an hour or something up this hill. But we just did Chalisa after Chalisa after Chalisa. And guess what? We never had to walk off. We never got off that bike. It took us all the way to the top of the hill. And like, I don't know, there was no doubt in my mind that we assisted the bike. We brought in the divine assistance of Hanuman to help that bike make it up that hill, because that bike was not meant to make it up that hill. But that's just so many examples like that, just weird weather, boom, let's chant a Chalisa. Weird traffic, let's chant a Chalisa. Planes about to take off, let's chant a Chalisa. Planes about to land, let's chant a Chalisa. All these things, and it makes it easier. So that, to me, that's proof right there. It makes it easier.
Oh,
You ready for the hit of the day?
very nice. Very nice. Very
Very
nice.
nice, very
Very
nice.
nice. Very nice, everyone.
Very nice, very
Very
nice,
nice.
very
Very
nice.
nice.
You want to
What
hear?
was that thing we did about 10 episodes? We were like, so anyways.
Anyways,
So in
yeah,
better that. Very nice. Very
very
nice.
nice. That's better. That's better than anyway.
Very nice. Very nice. Very
I think that anyway is what you say when you like give a big speech to everybody, and nobody's reacting at all. You're just looking at a bunch of faces just staring back at you, and you go, anyway.
Very, very nice.
All right, all right.
I
So
know
here
you're
we
going to
got it.
start using that. Very nice.
Very
Very
nice, very nice. I like in India, they always say correct,
correct.
correct, correct. All right. This one is from
What are we doing though? What are we doing? What are
oh,
we
we're gonna
taking a
take a
hit?
hit of the day.
What do you mean a hit of the day?
Oh, it's a hit. It's a we read a quote from Bhakti teacher or saint or somebody um, on the path, and we call it the Bhakti hit of the day, and it's a hit of LSD.
Oh, a hit of
Love.
LSD. Does that mean, did you guys used to say this when you were in teenagers? I'm high as balls right now.
I never said that one. That was
You
just never.
never said
No,
that.
no, no, no. I've never said high as balls.
You've never said
I've never said that. I swear to God, I've never said that.
that.
I mean, my
Well,
balls hang low. Well, okay, all right, hold on.
well,
Oh my.
like people need to understand that we're not dropping chemicals. We're
No.
dropping knowledge and wisdom and love. This is what the real LSD
The
is.
OG LSD is love, service, and devotion.
Yeah.
And it shows up in so many ways, but we have decided to reveal it in a quote. So we do our Hanuman Chalisa thing, and then now we're going to do our hit of the day. And the hit of the day is from Yogananda. And he said, God is simple, everything else is complex. Okay, one more time. God is simple, everything else is complex.
Mm,
It usually takes a minute to come on.
very nice. Very
Very nice.
nice.
Is that all you have to say about it? Is that
No,
literally all you have to say?
but what I got, just like God is simple because God is.
Mm,
God is.
mhm,
God is. We don't even need anything after it. It's just God is. God is this moment. The isness of every moment is just God.
mm,
The complexity is that our human minds are always trying to figure it all out and having preferences of the way we want things and don't want things, and make our little compartmentalizations of life, and but the simplicity of living a spiritual life is just seeing the presence of God in everything. And I think that's the only way, brother, that we can ever truly experience real peace.
mm,
And not saying that I can do that, because I mean, maybe God bless someday I can do that. But my ego wants to make things complicated because I don't have enough faith and I don't have enough God consciousness,
mhm,
that I'm living in Maya a good majority of the time. But when we can lean back and lay back into that broader vision that God is everything in every moment, and even the things that we don't like, suddenly it's simple. Because you can just say, okay, it's God, because God is the omnipotent one, the all powerful one. So, how can my little puny mind contest that? When I really think about that, there's an instant surrender. Okay, that's just the way it is. So, am I going to fight this or just let it be? And if I can just let it be, let go, let God, let it be, life is simple.
mm.
What do you think?
Well, I'm just getting this image of like the Buddhists when they talk about no mind, like and that when the mind is clear and that there's no thoughts, that's when they're feeling like that direct. And again, like I don't know too much about Buddhism. I just know that expression. And or maybe that's a Zen thing. I mean, maybe that's more of, I mean, Zen Buddhism, but maybe that's more of a, but are you familiar with this
I think,
concept
yes,
though?
no mind is Zen.
No mind is Zen.
No mind is Zen, but it's been
But
used, I think, in different Buddhist traditions. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But but that when, everything is, I mean, I can imagine, I've never experienced no mind. Uh, but I have had moments, and I've not, experienced samadhi, but I have had moments, I think, of feeling, pretty steady in terms of my awareness that everything is God. And in those moments, everything's simple. There isn't complexity. I think the complexity, the everything else, the everything else is really interesting because God is everything, right? So when we say God is simple, everything else is complex, what is the everything else even that he's talking about? Because because God is everything. I mean, if God is everything, then God is the things we don't like that you were just talking about. But God is even the negative thoughts that I don't want or that are, God is everything. So I've been thinking a lot about how much we overthink and overcomplicate uh, our lives. It's quite astounding. And the more I notice it, the more I long for that simplicity. But that's the lovely thing about like when you go to India or something and you go to an ashram and you live there for any extended period of time, they go out of their way to like make everything so simple. The meals are all at the same time. That's what I love about those experiences is like, you don't even have to think about what's for dinner, you know, because, hey, now, now that the holidays are upon us, everybody's going to have all these meals with their family, and the bigger the family, the harder it is to figure out what's for dinner, right? Because everybody's going, where are we going to dinner tonight? There's this whole conversation, and it becomes like a 2 hour thing, and everybody's, hemming and
It's
hawing over it.
complex stuff right
No, it
there.
is. No, it's so complex. But, well, it gets crazy how complex it can get, just over such a simple question about like what to have for dinner. Even just two people, even my wife and I can have, a complex conversation about what to have for dinner, and it's just the two of us. Anyway, this is, of course, what to have for dinner is just an example, and a very
Thanks
basic.
for making that clear.
Well, there's God, and then there's what to have for dinner. That's everything else, right? Maybe I don't know. Maybe this is I just have a personal trip about what to have for dinner, because I'm the cook around here too, and if I don't keep that, if I don't keep my woman fed, it can get
It's all
bad.
going
It
down.
can, it can get really, it can get really bad, So anyway, I mean, what do you think about it? Everything else is complex. Like, why do we make it so complex? What do you
Uh,
think that?
this other thing, everything is God. Like, does that mean God is in our forgetting as well too?
God is in everything.
God is in. I mean, I love this omnipresence. Is
Nothing
God
outside.
is in our darkest thoughts?
Mm,
That God is in our moments of God is Maya as well too.
mm.
Right? That veil, God is that
Well,
veil as well.
God puts the veil there.
God puts the veil there.
Yeah. Why does
That's,
God put the veil there?
but that means on some level, if you can just be content with all of it,
Yeah.
even your suffering, even your moments that you just know, like underneath it all, then you're just celebrating it all. You're
Yeah.
celebrating the Leela.
Yeah.
It's all the play. That's so wild.
My favorite concept these days is santosha. You just hit on it, just being content. Like without santosha, we don't have a chance at peace. Not even a remote shot at it.
So, but this is very deep. That I think that the complex versus simple is no easy task for the mind,
No.
to you're in the midst of the gnarliest argument with somebody and you're just okay with it because you know this is God too,
Mm. Wow. Yeah, that's heavy.
right?
Yeah.
And so that takes such a deep spiritual core connectedness. Like
Yeah. Well, and it reminds me of, the other, this is another little half a hit, half a tab hit here is that we were just talking about when Neem Karoli said, everything is perfect.
everything is perfect. Everything is perfect.
And
I
it's
got
so much.
another half a tab too, whenever
Yeah.
you're
Okay.
ready. Well, being, you were talking about in-law asana and it's the holidays. I think we should just have a minute of discussion of Ram Dass's if you think you're enlightened, go hang out with your family. What does that mean?
Well, I mean, it means that it's very easy to go off to a cave and meditate for 10 years and think you're enlightened. But when you come home to your family and they give you the same old crap that they gave you 10 years ago, uh, it takes another level of enlightenment to just go, I think, yeah, I mean, I, our families push our buttons,
Yeah, they
you
know how to
know?
trigger us.
They know how to trigger us. They've been like around us so much and they know, and they know how to get to you, you know?
And we think we've gone through this big spiritual transformation and and they just look at us and say,
Come on.
come on, come back to earth.
Yeah. Yeah. They're like, have a drink and a steak and shut up.
Lots of drinking, lots of drinking. You gonna be drinking this holiday season?
No, I don't drink.
No.
No, I don't drink. I drink an occasional non-alcoholic beer
Nice,
because I like the taste of beer.
nice.
But yeah. How about you? You gonna be drinking?
Well, I just started drinking. I'm just kidding. I'm just really into drinking now. I'm just
Are
starting.
you? Yeah, you
I'm just
drinking as a spiritual practice.
it's God also, right? I'm gonna go back
Hey, yeah.
in.
It's not only God, it's the isn't it the blood of Christ or something?
Oh
Or
man,
I don't know.
I can't really go there anymore. I don't know what it is. I
Yeah,
think I've had my crazy days with alcohol, and
yeah.
I don't need any more of that. But
Yeah, it is so funny how just that just all fell away.
yeah,
Yeah. Because I mean, I drank a lot of booze.
I drank a lot of booze too.
Yeah.
I don't know. Was that just our generation too in college and all these things? It was, or maybe kids are still doing that. I don't
No,
know.
that well, they're still doing it to a certain degree, but apparently, the alcohol companies are all freaking out and trying to figure out how to market better because younger kids, like the younger generations, aren't drinking as much. They're literally
Yeah,
just not drinking as much, and there's more and
interesting.
more and more like mocktails and stuff like that, or like elixirs, or even more like even more non-alcoholic beers, and there's even wines now and stuff there. So it's like this whole market towards non-alcoholic drinks that wasn't there before, and not just like sweetie Coca-Cola kind of drinks, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. I think I've seen a lot of this kind of stuff on Instagram. It's almost become cool. not to drink, you know? Like
Oh,
it's
yeah,
a trend, actually. It's a trend.
it is a trend. But
Yeah.
I mean,
And I'm happy about it. I
me
think it's
too. I mean, don't get me started, but I mean, I can't say much good about alcohol, to be honest.
yeah. I definitely think the stupidest things I've ever done in my life have been intoxicated by alcohol. There's no doubt about that one.
100%, 100%.
Mindless, you know, just absolutely mindless. If you think of mindful, when I used to drink, it was the complete opposite of mindfulness.
Hey, but by the way, everybody, we're not, here to judge uh, drinking. I don't know how we even got
No,
into this subject,
no.
but
And lots of people I know drink, and I don't mind being around people having drinks. It's fine.
yeah, as long as they don't take it too far.
Sloppy ass drunk.
Yeah, that can start to get old.
Next
Hey, Govind,
episode, me and you, let's have a couple beers ready to drink.
yeah. I love there was a picture of you a few years ago, like you were surfing and you had a kombucha in your hand, I guess, but it totally looked like a beer bottle.
I
And I saw it and I was like, what the heck is Govind doing? Surfing, he's got a beer in his hand. I was like, that is not the guy I thought he was.
know. That's a great one. You know, the funny thing is that I'm gonna have to repost that because it wasn't even me. It's somebody with dreadlocks that looked like me.
Oh, it's not you.
It wasn't me. Somebody sent a picture of this guy that looked just like me, and he
Ah,
was he was on a surfboard with a kombucha in his hand.
dude, that looked just like you. Oh,
Oh,
that's funny. Oh, now I'm disappointed knowing it's not you.
yeah.
All right. Well, listen, we
Well,
better wrap this up.
yeah, stay dry in Seattle, brother. Stay dry.
I told you I don't drink.
Yeah.
All
Drink your
right.
kombuchas.
But be careful of those high alcohol kombuchas.
Oh, those things. Yeah, those
They
are
have
potent.
butches with 3 or 4% in them. You have a couple of those things, and I'd be on the floor.
Yeah, my wife drinks those things. I taste them, I'm like, ooh, what is this?
She does. She drinks them.
Yeah, she likes those things.
They have the ones that have the little lid that you can't buy unless you're 18. Have you seen those?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I mean it'll be the same brand or whatever, but occasionally they'll have, if the alcohol content is above a certain level, I guess then you have to be 21 or whatever the age to buy it even.
Oh,
It's different
well,
level.
everybody, thanks for listening to our.
Yeah.
If you're still with us.
Yeah. We've gone around the horn a little bit on today's episode,
That's the
but
best part about this podcast. I really do believe.
yeah, we're just trying to keep it real here, everybody. Share our hearts and share the love that we feel for Bhakti and Hanumanji, and
Yeah.
hopefully you can feel it.
All right. Well, why don't we close out with our last prayer?
Sounds great. Uh, so we're going to finish with a short prayer for peace and just sending this peaceful vibration to the whole world. Gandhi said that there's plenty to go around to fulfill everyone's need, but there's not enough to fulfill everyone's greed. So as we chant this, just hold that vision of enough for everybody, peace for everybody, love for everybody. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu.
May all beings, including ourselves, be happy, be well, and be free from suffering. And may all of our thoughts, and may all of our words, and may all of our actions in some way contribute to that happiness, that well-being, that peacefulness, and that freedom from suffering for all.
Love everyone, serve everyone, feed everyone, and remember God.
Bolo Shri Sakrudev Bhagwan Ki.
Jai,
Baba Neem Karoli Santa Maharaj Ki.
Jai,
Syavara Rama Chandra Ki.
Jai,
Sankatamochan Hanuman Ki.
Jai,
Jeho.
Jai
Thank you,
ho.
thank you.
Thank you, brother. Great to be
Thank
with you
you,
again.
brother.
Thanks, everybody.
Very nice, very nice.
Very nice. Yay, Hanuman.
Jai Hanuman, thank you so much, brother. Thank you, everyone. This is a blessing. Always remember our three things coming up. We'd love to have you a part. Hanuman Chalisa, January 13th. Love, Service, and Devotion, Immersion and Retreat in Encinitas, March 28th, and no, February 28th and March 1st. And last but not least, Bhakti in Bali, March 23rd through March 28th.
Wow, what a great beginning of the year, brother.
Come
Amazing.
join us.
All right. Jai Shri Ram.
Jai Hanuman. Thanks, everybody. Bye.